I'm really excited to dive into this training with you today because the truth is, most business gurus are lying to you, and I want to tell you why. I know what it feels like right now where you're posting every month, every day, you are being consistent, you are selling, you are showing up online, you're doing everything right, everything that you've been told to do, everything that you know to do to scale your business, but you're still not seeing the sales that you know you should be seeing. The sales feel slower than you desire, they feel unpredictable, and you can't figure out what's going on and how to shift this. This training is going to break down why you're not seeing the results that you want to based on what you're currently doing, and this is ultimately going to save you months of frustration and actually help you to understand what's been blocking your growth this whole time. And I'm really excited for you to dive in and understand the components of your business so that you can make the changes to see bigger business growth. Now, if you're anything like other people that come into my world, you have been conditioned to believe that working more and being more consistent, working harder, equals more sales and more results. You have been taught that if you just keep showing up, if you just keep posting every day, if you just keep following the steps, following the plan, that eventually it'll all work out and you'll see the growth and everything will be fine. That is a lie. Okay. The lie is that effort and consistency automatically creates business growth, because it doesn't. You can be the most consistent person in the room. You can be the hardest working person in the room. But if you're focusing on the wrong things, it's not going to get you to where you want to be. And you're not going to see the business growth that you desire, which means that you are stuck in this loop of overthinking, overworking, glued to your phone, refreshing your notifications, comparing yourself to every single person online that you deem to be more successful than you are. And then you realize, hold up a minute, things aren't adding up. I am doing everything, I'm showing up, I'm doing all of the right things, but my income hasn't moved. Okay, and the gurus lied when they said that consistency creates sales, because it doesn't. But what does create sales is having a clear marketing strategy to get in front of new people, a content schedule that brings in leads, and an entire ecosystem, an entire business vehicle that creates sales and repeat. And nobody taught you that part. But I want to. I want to break it down in this video so you know exactly what you need to do to scale your business. I remember the day that I realized something had to shift. I used to also have this belief that being consistent and being the hardest working person in the room was the answer to a massive business. About 5 years ago, I was so burnt out. I was working all the time, all day, every day, following all the advice, showing up. I was actually really proud of how consistent I was being. I was so proud of how hard I was working. But underneath the show that I put on to everybody else on social media, I was absolutely exhausted and I didn't feel like I could catch a break. Even on Christmas Day, I was on my phone, I was worrying about the business, I was replying to clients. I was so not present with my family on Christmas Day. And it wasn't until my sister looked at me and she said, "Can you not just put your phone down for 5 minutes?" And I could see it in her eyes that she meant it. It was like, put your phone down and be present. And that was the moment that I realized I had no idea how to switch off. I thought that if I slowed down, everything in my business would fall apart. I didn't know how to grow the business without me working 24/7. I didn't know how to grow the business without me being super hyper vigilant, constantly wired into work mode, even when I was meant to be off. So it was that moment that I realized that the way I was building my business was not sustainable and it certainly wasn't scalable. Something had to shift. Something had to shift, because otherwise I was going to end up with a business that felt so difficult, so heavy. I would be burnt out, tired, and probably start to resent the business that I'd worked so hard to build. So I switched things up. I started implementing an entirely new model. I realigned my focus for the business, freed up more of my time, made my systems way more effective and efficient. And the result of this was that I made my first £1 million in 15 months working 4 days a week. And now I want to show you what I did, because I truly believe that every single person should know this stuff. I think everyone should know exactly how to scale without feeling the way that you currently do, because I know what it's like. I've been there. And I have now helped hundreds of clients make more money in their business whilst having more life, breaking out of the cycle of burnout, and ultimately getting rid of the inconsistent income. I have helped clients create consistent income that continues to scale without feeling like their entire life is their business. One of my clients, Emily, she came to me and I remember her message. She was tired, annoyed. She felt like she didn't know how to scale. She felt lost. And I've helped her scale to 20K per month, 20,000 per month. And she gets to stay at home with her little ones. She doesn't work full-time hours. She works a couple of days a week around her little ones from home, making 20,000 per week. This is why I do this work. And my mission is to spread it with as many people as possible because of the results like this. And this is why I'm so passionate about what I do. And I love creating free stuff for you. So there's actually a couple of additional free trainings that I've put together to help with your content, your messaging, your sales process. So once you've watched this, you can click the link below on this YouTube video and you'll get immediate access. So I want every single person to have this knowledge, hence why I create videos like this. So let's dive in to see how you can simplify your business and actually scale it. Now, the truth is, there are only 3 core problems that are keeping your business stuck right now. And these 3 core problems are the only things that are stopping you from scaling to those 30 to 50K months, working 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. Number 1, your visibility and your lead flow is unpredictable. Number 2, your sales aren't consistent. Number 3, you don't have any free time or you don't have the fulfillment that you want inside of your business. And all 3 of those things come from one bigger thing, which is that your business doesn't have a strong enough system to support the growth that you want. That's all it comes down to. So the work that I do with my clients is about building a business that actually leads to sales, clients, and freedom, because all 3 require a certain structure and strategy working together. So if we look at the overflow method, like I said, there's these 3 problems. And the first one is the lack of visibility and the lack of leads. People have a great business and they truly know how to help their clients, but they just simply aren't getting in front of the right people or getting in front of enough people. And this is a big problem because without consistent eyes on your business, you will struggle to make consistent sales long term. If you're selling to the same audience over and over again, it doesn't matter how good you are at sales, eventually your audience is going to dry up and you're going to exhaust that pool. So you need to make sure you always have visibility and a constant lead flow. The second problem is inconsistent sales each month. So we don't know how much our business is going to bring in. That causes a lot of anxiety. Every month people are hoping that they're going to make sales. They don't really know how to drive more sales. They don't know how to influence their sales. And again, this is a big problem because we want our business to feel predictable. We want our business to feel scalable. We want to know how to influence sales. Right? You want to know the exact things you need to do to make more money in your business rather than just feeling like we're hoping to make a sale from the content that we post. That isn't a strategy. And then the third problem I see is that business is simply taking over our lives. So we're doing all the things in our business, working 24/7, always thinking about work, breathing work, dreaming about work. And what once was this vision that you had to build something for wealth and freedom has just become more like a full-time job where you're actually working more hours and have more stress. And if this feels familiar to your current situation, I get it. But I want you to know that this is just a symptom of a business that is missing foundational systems. And that is something that we can fix. Because if we flip it round, what you really want is more money, so you can feel financially free, you can have more stability, you can do all of the amazing things that you want to do and experience in your life. You want more clients so you can expand your impact, and you know that you've got a consistent lead flow coming into your business is constantly signing new clients and constantly scaling. And you want more freedom so you can actually live your life, you can actually reap the rewards of your hard work. Now, we need all 3 of these things working together to create overflow. An overflow of wealth, of time, of impact, of joy, of freedom, of peace. And ultimately, that is why I developed this signature framework. Because this framework addresses each part of this. So my clients know exactly how to see results. They know exactly how to make sales. Because I want you to have it all. I want you to have an overflow of everything. I want my clients to make the most money, have the time of their life, have the most fun, the most freedom, the most wealth. And this is how we do it. And so, how do we actually do this? How do we make this happen for my clients? How do we get results so you scale your business and have more freedom? First, we work on your messaging matrix. Okay, we need to get super clear on who you serve and position you in the marketplace as the go-to person to work with to see results for the type of work that you do. We need people to see you as the solution because that's when your ideal clients are looking for you. And the messaging matrix is super important because most people buy because they're trying to solve an immediate problem. They want quick relief. And so our job is to give them something to grab onto now. Okay, we want to, yes, paint the long-term vision, but people want to make a change now. Most niches are noisy and crowded. And so if we want to stand out, we need to go through this messaging matrix. This is why I created this framework, because you need to know how to stand out. And when we know what words to say, what language to use, the exact things that are going to land with our ideal clients, that's how we begin to make more sales. If you can learn to position yourself as the fix inside of your messaging, so your messaging clearly puts you as the authority with the fix, your ideal clients are naturally going to be pulled towards you. And this starts with the messaging matrix. Once we've done the messaging matrix, we need to build your offer, not only to support your clients, but to set you up for an overflow lifestyle. Okay, we're not just going to be creating offers for the sake of it. We're going to be building an intentional business that feels amazing, makes a lot of money, and helps your ideal clients. This is what I call the ascension engine. And so your offer is structured in the right way. Now, if you don't have this in place, if you don't have the ascension engine in place, you can very quickly end up in a situation where you are either working one-to-one all the time, constantly trading time for money, tied to your laptop multiple hours a day in exchange for payment, or you can create an offer that takes up a load of your time and underpays you. So you're working loads, but you're not hitting the revenue you want. Or you can create an offer that is ultimately exhausting, notifications pinging 24/7 from clients, and you don't even feel like you can eat lunch without needing to be on your phone. So having the ascension engine and having this focus means your business is set up to scale in a way that gives you freedom, time, wealth, and stability. So once we've done the messaging matrix, we move into the ascension engine. Then we build your sales runway. This is where consistent revenue comes because we'll build your client system. And this client system warms people, moves them, guides them into becoming paying clients. Long gone are the days where posting content alone was enough to make a sale. It used to be as simple as posting something that was relatively good on your feed, saying, I've got X amount of spaces to work with me this month, and you'd make a sale. Okay, it used to be that simple. If you had somewhat of a decent message, that would make a sale, but that is not the case anymore. And if you are still growing your business like that, you're going to get left behind. More and more people are getting very, very good at content. More and more people know how to speak to their ideal clients. There's more noise, more competition, more people doing what you're doing and trying to get in front of your ideal clients because they're also their ideal clients. So if you don't have a client system in place, you will feel that things are heavier and slower than they need to be. This is a crucial part of the overflow method. Once we have implemented a client system and a sales runway into your business, you will have a machine that you can turn on and that you can influence. So you know that when it's switched on, it works for you 24/7. It creates new visibility. It nurtures people. It brings new people into your world. It serves your clients. It makes you sales, even when you're offline and enjoying your life. And then what we need to do after that is build a self-filling container. And the way we do that is using my 5A method. This means that you know exactly what to post to gain momentum and sign clients on social media. And then the ecosystem that we've built up in the back end, it brings leads to you. The vehicle kicks in and you make sales. It's a self-filling container, new leads coming in, new leads getting nurtured, new leads signing up as clients. And this makes all the difference between no longer posting and praying that your content makes sales because you know it will. You know that every single time you click post, it's bringing people into your world and it's making you sales. And that makes content so much more simpler. It makes content so much more fun because when you follow a method that works, it gives you back time, it gets you better results, it makes you more money. Now, the thing that most people forget is we don't own any of these social media platforms. We don't own Instagram, we don't own TikTok, we don't own any of it. That is why it is absolutely essential that we create a vehicle where we are driving visibility and leads, and then we're taking them off social media into your nurture strategy. That is why it's so important to use the social media strategies as an initial vehicle, but it can't be your only vehicle. It needs to be part of a bigger ecosystem. We need to expand the width of your brand. We need to convert them into paying clients. This system has to all be working together. And when it does, that's when you create a business that brings you in a lot of cash and gives you a lot of time freedom. One of my clients implemented this exact method. He implemented this exact vehicle and had over 500 leads in 4 days. Now, these leads were all his dream clients, perfect for his offer, gave him a massive pool of people to nurture and sign into a scalable program. The vehicle was set up in the back end. We know how to turn it on. This is the result. This is how powerful it is. Or Constance, who is a relationship coach. She came to me saying that she'd been trying to force sales. It felt really hard to get sales for her program. And within literally 3 weeks of us working together and her implementing this strategy, she made 22K cash. And she messaged me like, Brianna, it is working. Like, how is this working so quickly? And Janice, who scaled her business from 5K per month to 50K per month, also implementing these frameworks, following this system. Now, these aren't rare cases. I see these results within my clients over and over again. And this is why Overflow is set up to get you results in your bank account and to get you results in your life. Because when you combine all of the above, the result is simple. Leads are consistent, sales are predictable and scalable, and your freedom increases every single time. And this is what I want you to get to. I am on a mission to help 500 online entrepreneurs scale to 30 to 50K months, working 4 hours a day, 4 days a week, so you can build a life of overflow, wealth, happiness, peace, and joy. It is my absolute mission, a massive mission, for me to help as many people create this vehicle inside of their business. Sarah, one of my other amazing clients, she quit her job as a doctor and now has more money and more time than ever before. Sarah travels the world and she closed 70,000 in 1 month. Kamaria went from inconsistent sales to 50K months on repeat. All of those people started where you are now. But they took the action, they jumped in. And so if you're ready to get out of your current sticky situation, if you're ready to scale your business, follow me on Instagram and DM me the number 44. My Instagram is @_Brianna Johnston. And when that message comes through, we can have a chat and I can send you everything you need to know about Overflow and how it can transform your business. So, like I said, this is my mission. If you are one of the entrepreneurs who sat there thinking that you want more time, more money, more impact, more joy, more peace, more overflow, then jump into my DMs and let's chat how we can scale your business together.